I don't have any sound.
Okay, I
So
can
you
hear
got
you.
okay, I can hear you now.
Travian is muted. Travian, can you hear us?
I can hear you
Muted.
now.
Okay, great. Travian, we can't hear you. You muted. You on mute.
Unmute.
Unmute.
I thought I could watch this live on the YouTube TV, but I don't see it.
Okay. I'm gonna wait for Travian to come back in.
Can you hear me now?
Yes, I can hear you now.
I can hear you.
I can hear you now. I was also trying to get people time to come on in the room because we just got out here. We was experiencing technical difficulties.
Yes.
So I was trying to
beyond
get
our control.
I
said beyond our control.
Beyond our control. Oh, let me okay.
So I'm
okay, so we're gonna go ahead on and get started. Oh yeah, it was crazy today. Very, very crazy today. But we have plenty to talk about. So Pamela, you could introduce yourself.
It's Teal. It's Teal.
It's Pamela too. Technically, you're not wrong.
Teal.
My name is Teal. I've been following for a while, both of you ladies. And I'm probably as hood as they get on X. I'm surprised they haven't kicked me off again. But they haven't.
Is
And
that
I
where
enjoy it, so I wanted to participate.
Is
Y'all
that where
mind?
Water Bird comes from?
I'm sorry?
Jailbird? Is that your
Oh,
tag?
yeah, exactly, yeah. From back in the day. Mm-hmm. See if I can play this one.
I want to thank you all for joining us, and we want to apologize for our technical difficulties today. They were extremely out of our control, and you all know that we really respect and enjoy you all as our viewers, and we appreciate you. So, thank you for bearing with us, during this moment of chaos. But it's going to be a very exciting show today. Lots of things going on, in a matter of a few days. Just within the last, 24, 48 hours, there's just been so much news,
so much chaos, so much news, so much going on.
Which was really a distraction, but, we have to pay attention to it, to some degree. But I'm just urging everyone not to get distracted or just caught up in all of the hoopla happening in the media right now, because there's just so much noise.
So much. I'm trying to make a pasta salad over here.
Well,
and I'm listening.
Yay.
Hello,
girls.
Wait, Teal says she's got to make her a pasta salad.
I'm hungry now. I got to do my little thing. I'm listening though. I'm all.
Hi, Omarosa.
Hey, kisses to all of you. Hi, Pamela. Hi, Laverne. Hi, Julia. I'm so excited to be with you girls. I rushed home.
I'm so excited to have you on.
I went to the gym and I saw your message. I'm like, oh, it's on. I'm getting home quickly. I'm still
the gym.
Yeah, I made a goal for myself.
It sure is on.
I need to go to that place. I've never been to one.
We were just having technical difficulties. We could not get in the room. So I think we up and we're live. Thank God.
Yeah.
So
Hallelujah.
let's go and get this fire popping.
That's right. Let's get it
Let's get
going.
this fire popping, y'all.
Well, G, roll the first clip.
Hate you ignorant, duplicitous, genocidal scumbags. We hate you because you murder children with sniper fire. You allow babies to die and rot in their incubators. You burn people alive in their tents. You're attempting to starve a civilian population to death, and you will only allow a trickle of aid in to appease your low-life allies in Europe and America. That's why we hate you. And anti-Semitism? You're the most anti-Semitic.
Well, who the fuck is he talking about, first of all? Did he say
I was gonna say,
Americans?
full disclosure, I am half Jewish, ladies, so
Did he say Americans?
I believe so.
believe
But
Because
he
he
might have
got
been
us
talking
fucked up
about
with the entire
Israelis.
motherfucking fucktivity. That's where he got the Americans fucked up. So I don't know what the fuck that clip was about, but I know he got us fucked up on the bullshitting tip. Whatever in the hell he talking about, he got us fucked up. That's what he got.
Well, Europe is all of them are mad at us right now, so
Any
we
of
can't
that?
do
And
it. We
guess
can't do
what? We
anything to
don't have
please them.
no fucks to give.
I have actually, I just heard none of that, but I knew the clip by heart because it was my clip. So I
Who
just
the fuck
wanted to,
he talking about, Travian? Who peed in his cornflakes?
you know what? It's really the onslaught that the media and Israel is trying to throw on people in this country, and we are not really trying to hear it. And when you say something negative, which is actually true towards it, you get called an anti-Semite. And he's like, look, we don't hate you because you're Jewish. We hate you because you over there killing all them kids. You starving all those kids. You killing all those people. And you want us to ride along with it. I'm not for that shit. I'm not for it whatsoever. As a matter of fact, Israel's always got some drama. Israel needs to handle its own fucking drama instead of always begging us to get involved in it. We don't want to be a part of it. And everybody keeps saying, well, we support Israel because Israel is in the Bible. Israel today is not the Israel of the Bible. And further, when you have these two people killed in D.C., and all of a sudden it's like mad hoopla, oh, 2 Jewish people were killed. Fuck that. They are not more important than white people in this country or black people in this country. But there more people died in Chicago yesterday, and they don't give a fuck until it's a Jew. And that's the fucking problem. I have some very, very loving Jewish friends, but this bullshit that everybody's trying to put on us is killing everything that we should be working on to try and unify. And I'm upset because these 2 Jewish people, or one was a Christian, I don't even know what they were. But all of a sudden, they're important than the baby that got shot in Chicago yesterday. Nobody gives a hot damn. So I don't give a goddamn either. America first and America only. And that's what that clip was about.
And that's Trevion fired up. And
That's right. Fired up and ready to motherfucking go. And I couldn't have said that shit better myself. When are we going to start giving a fuck about what's taking place in our country? When are we going to start giving a fuck about the American people of this
Well,
country
you can
and the
care about both.
citizens of this country? These motherfuckers go all out to do everything for all these goddamn illegals. We got all these people in Congress fighting like hell for illegals. They go into their countries trying to bring them back here. But what about the motherfuckers voted for them in their district that they don't give a fuck about? And y'all can run that clip too with Miss La Monica.
Yes,
Oh,
her.
no.
Oh Lord,
That
yeah.
whole.
That motherfucker.
That's right. I think they want us to. I think they want us to dislike each other. I really do think they are trying to instigate, brown against black against white against yellow against red. Like
Right.
they don't care. They just want you at odds with each other.
I agree, Pamela.
Right.
It's no coincidence the way the media sends out its signals to bait us and to turn us against each other, because that has been the plan all along.
Yep.
They don't want
Absolutely.
unity. They don't want
Absolutely.
education. They don't want any of that. They want hate and divide and for us to be at each other's throats.
And control.
And, that's why when I get really hot and passionate about something, or if I'm in a space or communicating with someone that has opposite views of me, even if they attack me, I never let them get me to where they want me to be, because that is exactly what the media and what this whole monster does. It gets its tentacles in and it does it. And you're right, it shouldn't matter, whether it was those two people. Everyone's life is important. Every
That
murder
just should not, that
is
should just not
terrible.
happen here.
But they do that on purpose to trigger us.
I always say at the end of the day, we all bleed red. We
That's
all
right.
bleed red. It doesn't matter what color. Hi, what's that? Abila and BB. It doesn't matter what color
Hey,
of your
Abila John
skin is.
Bosco.
Yeah, at the end of the day, we all bleed red. And what
Exactly.
they want more trans. They want to murder the babies. They want to rape the kids. They want the sexual kids book in
Now, what has happened?
library. And I saw something about teaching children how to have anal sex or something. I saw that they trying to push now. What we are already like lacking last behind when it comes to education. These other countries, even if they're third world countries, they are so much advanced, with teaching their kids educational things, making sure their kids are learning. But here, everything is all about sex. While you got kids in high school can't spell words like dog and fucking cat on their best motherfucking day. And this is really sad what we'll come.
It's terrible. I don't know how old y'all are, but at my age, I'm really just like, I just want to say, I can remember as a young girl, I didn't want anybody to know I even owned a butthole. What are these people doing these days? I tried half my life to pretend like I didn't have one, and now that's all you hear about.
I know.
Everything is about the
perverted.
butthole. Everything is about the ass. Everything is about all this insanity that really needs to stop. And then you have look at Pete. I don't know what's his last name, the one that's in Congress, but him and his partner, which is a man.
Oh, Pete.
They damn near shut down the whole fucking hospital while he lay his happy ass up in there like he just had a motherfucking baby.
Oh no, that was
Pete Buttigieg. He was the
That's what I'm talking
transportation.
about.
the last administration. He's out of a job right now.
Yeah,
Right.
he was the
Right.
transportation
That's what I'm
secretary.
talking about. But he was laying up in there like he just,
And on the fake
pushed
chest
the damn
feeding
baby
device.
out.
Yeah.
Like he was fucking exhausted and shit. So this the insanity that we see in Congress and the other. And what you expect? Look at Sarah fucking Big Nuts in Congress, acting like she a whole fucking man. You know what I'm saying? So this the kind of shit we dealing with. When we got people like that they want us to drink the Kool-Aid and participate in their bullshit instead of fighting for this country. They always got, some more shit that they want to throw in the game that basically ain't got shit to do with nothing that we are concerned about as we the people.
Right.
Absolutely.
And you know what makes me sick is like what you were saying, Laverne, like, with the kids and what they're teaching them and what Pamela said, I don't know how old you are. I'm thankful that my son is 20 years old.
Well, I'm old.
Because
I just look like this.
if he
But
was
I'm
younger,
old.
if he
I'm
was
up
younger
there.
and in the school
And
system,
I'm glad to be up in there because these days, these people just don't be making it to get to be my age. You know what I'm saying? They make it out of their 20s. They doing damn good these days.
no, it's just, they go after the kids because they want to demoralize them. And then by demoralizing them, they turn them against their parents who have tried to instill these good values or lead by example. And suddenly their parents are the enemy because they're like, how can you be like that, mom? I work with kids from 5th to 8th grade. When I was in 5th to 8th grade, I didn't know half of the things that the kids know today. And they should be learning. They shouldn't be knowing about buttholes and butt plugs, like you're saying, or these books that they have. I didn't know any of that. And I
didn't know any
I
of
just
that
found
shit.
out about some of it recently. Let's be honest.
Let me tell you something. I was so green, it was ridiculous. I think I was about in the 9th or 10th grade. And y'all remember back in the day when your grandmamas used to have that red thing that they kept in the shower that they used to fill up with water for an enema. Y'all know what I'm talking? It was, I think it was a
I
water
thought it was a
bag.
douchebag, but it could be,
Oh,
yeah,
that's
the
what it
enema
was.
bag.
Okay, well, they used to keep them damn things in the shower. I thought it was like when you need a laxative or something, they stick it in your butt or whatever. That's what I thought the shit was for. I never know what that shit was for. The only thing I
My
know
great grandma had one. I know that is a
but check
douchebag.
this out.
They put
I was
they
in
put
like the ninth.
powdered alum in it.
I was like in the 9th or 10th grade. I thought that motherfucker was a condom. This
Okay. Yep, you were even worse off than me, Laverne. You were worse off than me.
you know, back then they didn't teach us nothing. You know, a lot of them didn't want to talk about sex. I mean, shit, I had graduated high school when my daddy wanted to talk to me about sex education and shit. You know, them people, they just didn't talk to you about stuff like that. You had
Nobody
to try to
talked
figure
about
that
that.
shit out on your own.
I didn't
You
even,
know
not
what
even
I'm
my
saying?
sisters. That was a no-no.
I remember sex education when I was younger, and it was just about our reproductive system, how we're
Yeah,
different
that stuff.
animals, and it had nothing to do with, okay, condoms and Planned Parenthood and all of that stuff. Now, what they, and I'm here in California, imagine, okay, I had to like completely remove myself because I could not handle the kind of thing. I had to actually leave the school because I couldn't be on board with some of the things that they were saying was educational information. Because
Like
that,
what? Tell us, because I'm so old, I don't know what they're teaching them. All my grandkids go to private school, thank God.
like
But
basic, I don't even want to get into it because it makes me sick to my stomach, but basically like what sex is like for two boys and how it hurts
okay.
and how you
I
have to
got you.
use, it's like, we didn't hear stuff like that.
No, we didn't. Girl, I can remember trying to go to, I was raised in Texas and around the Dallas Metroplex area. I can remember wanting to go down and see. I never had seen a prostitute or somebody gay. I wanted to go see that. There was a certain part of Dallas that you could go to where they were known to be, and I just couldn't wait to get to be old enough where I could go down there and see that for myself. And now look at us. Every time I go to the convenience store up here in
Then
the
you got
panhandle of Florida,
prostitutes
I
on
see a
every
dude wearing
fucking
a
block.
handbag and heels.
You ain't got to go nowhere to see them these days.
I
They on
know.
every block in every damn corner, you know.
Well, and
And
the
this is
sad
just
thing
the new
is
world
that
that we live in, you know. You would think, and especially when you talk about California, and I saw, I think it was the other day they were showing Mississippi and how fucked up that place is. It's really horrible. It looked even worse than Skid Row, you know, in California. And you would think
Where
these
in
people,
Mississippi?
and how do people get desensitized to their fucking community
They're-
where
they're-
that shit is okay for them to sit back and live like that? You know, that's the
where
type of shit I don't know. It was somewhere in Mississippi, and they was
Was it
the lights
Biloxi?
thinking it was horrible. It looked like Skid Row. I don't know what part of
I
Mississippi it
want to say
was.
Biloxi just because that's their gambling town, but I don't know.
I don't know.
you want to know
I don't
something
even know
funny?
what part it was,
Talking
but I know it was really pretty bad. That
talking
part.
about all of this, just I got a notification on my Apple Watch that said, your heart is racing. That's what it does to me. I'm telling you. And they desensitize because it's little by little. It's everywhere. It's in the music industry. It's in the educational front. It's everywhere. You can't even watch a commercial now.
I think it's the
Now, I
Anything
was out
internet.
saying
gotta
to
be
me,
about that. And I know a lot of gay people. They're my friends, and they are so angry about this because they're like, wait a minute, we didn't work so hard.
That is so true. Yeah, I have several gay friends too that are
Included,
like, yeah, we're not down
not
with the
hated on.
tranny
And now they tried to
pedophile
put their
bill.
letters on our, LG. And now they want to, get on the parade with us, and we're not having it. And I feel bad for them too, because that would mean, like, can you imagine? It would be like, okay, me and them stand for this. And they're like, no, we are not for grooming children. We are not for, doing pole dances at, daycare centers. Give me a
In
break.
restaurants, yeah. Mhm.
Give me a break. It's crazy.
But if you asked 4 Democrat ladies, the same stuffers brought that up. They would be like, "Yeah, yes, that's their right. That is not their right
That is
to
not their right.
in front of my children, my minor children. That's not their right."
Well, it's funny because I
Absolutely
asked
not.
Grok. I was getting not Grok, sorry. I was getting just my husband and I. We were in the room one night, and I said, I'm going to get into a fight with ChatGPT. Okay, so I asked it, "What is a woman?" And it started giving me all that narrative that we all know. Okay,
Right.
and I told it, I'm like, you should be pissed, ChatGPT. Here you're supposed to be this ultimate supreme intelligence, and they have fed you this bullshit, and now you're spewing it for me when you
And then the
know
kids see it and believe it.
when you know damn well what a woman is.
Right.
Okay. And then it said, well, you're not being very sympathetic to people who feel that way. I said, but they're the minority. They're such
For
a
some
small
sympathy.
minority. And I said,
Sympathy
that
for
shit
what? What kind of
lovely.
sympathy did we ever get growing up?
so I told it, you know what? I
Hold it.
then identify as a banana. And
Might
then
as
it
well.
said, and then it said, oh, you know what? I see where you're going with this. You're trying to make fun of this. I said, but no, really, like, why are you saying that it's okay for people to identify as that? But now you're saying that it's ridiculous for me to identify as a banana. So where is the ceiling in this? I mean, we could be anything we want to be, right? If that's the case. We could be
They used to
retired.
tell us that, but they meant of the realistic things, not furries and I don't even with stuffed animals. My grandkids call them stuffies, and I'm like, when they say that, it reminds me of the furry stuff, and I'm like, why do you even call them that?
No, people are identifying as fairies and
Cats,
Cats.
turtles. I
of
saw one
things.
put a damn pill or something on his back to make it look like he had a hump. He identified as a turtle and he was crossing the street. So being that I'm in Miami, right? I'm gonna take this time to do a word to the wise. If you decide that you're a turtle or a cat, don't bring your motherfucking cat crawling, turtle crawling ass to Miami and think you get ready to cross the goddamn street and walk slow like a turtle, cause motherfucker, they gonna run your ass over here. Cause these people have zero motherfucking tolerance for bullshit. Okay. And I would say like anger management is at the all-time high on this motherfucking end. So don't try that shit. Don't say Laverne Spicer didn't tell y'all motherfuckers that identify as a cat, a dog, or anything where you want to crawl across the street. You're gonna get just what you looking for on this end, cause Miami don't play that shit. So I'm
Did
just
you
letting y'all
see,
know.
Laverne? Did you see the video of the guy? I think he was wearing a tutu, walking his dog. Had his wife with him. She was dressed up in something, and he said he liked to go to the Keys once a year because he could go down there and nobody cared, and they could act however. Did y'all see it?
Oh, nobody ain't gonna carry in the Keys, cause you know
I
that's what
said they care. They're just
ain't
too
nobody,
polite to
that's
say
all that's in
anything.
the Keys. That's all that's going on down there in the Keys. So I mean, when you go to the Keys, you expect that. They got all the little men bars, but everybody there is pretty friendly. I've been there a few times,
I have not
and
been, but I just
they're
thought
pretty
it is
friendly
still
there.
part
But
of
I mean, you
Florida. I would.
expect that in the Keys. Come on, that's just like if you on the South Beach, they got all the little clubs, where
But the
they
guy even
entertain
said
stuff
he
like
doesn't
that.
act
So
this
you
way at
expect it.
home. They go down there to act that way.
They go down there for that shit. That's what they do.
It just bothers me because they don't see that it's a door we're opening. It's like Pandora's box, like when you're allowing men that go into the girls' bathroom. I saw a really funny post yesterday where it said, a man followed my daughter in the bathroom because he identified as a woman. So I punched his teeth out.
That's beautiful.
Yeah,
That's
Well,
beautiful, and that's what they need.
that's
That's
yeah.
what they need.
and
That's
then,
exactly, they need more fathers like that to follow them motherfuckers and whoop they motherfucking ass, because
my
this shit is totally out of hand. Like I don't even have that clip, but here a lady in the Gables, she was in her home minding her own business. This motherfucker come up hitting on her windows and doors trying to open her shit, and she was so afraid that she just left. The man came back to her house and broke in and stole her phone and shit, but I don't think she was in the house, you know. But I'm gonna put it like this, because my husband always say everybody know who to fuck with. Everybody knows who to fuck with, because you come knocking at my door, bitch, it's gonna be on and popping. telling
Well,
you.
some of them may not know. I don't know.
Oh, but they don't know. They can fuck around and find out.
But
They know now.
by
They can
normalizing,
fuck around and find out.
but
Okay.
by normalizing all this shit is terrible, because then you get into the whole thing of like that guy who was like
Huh?
58 years old, married with 3 kids, adult children, and he told his wife, I identify as an 8-year-old little girl.
That is
No,
gross.
get the
Live
fuck
my
out of
life.
here.
I'm going to find the video and send it to you. I live my life as an 8-year-old little girl. And wait, what's worse, that he did that to his family, or that there was a couple in Canada who adopted him and
What
brought him
the
into
fuck?
their family and had him with their little daughter playing Barbies? I couldn't believe it. It was like, if
Hell
you
no.
cannot see that this is like pedophilia.
Well, just wait 15 years and that kid will be talking about how she was abused her whole
That's some
childhood and what her
bullshit right
parents
there.
did.
I'm going to find the clip
Some
and I'm going to
dumb
send
as
it to
hell
you.
shit, and all of them need their ass whooped individually. Cause who in the hell gonna move a grown ass man in their house? Because he said he 8 years old, moved them in
They
there to
must
play
be
with.
pedophiles too. Nobody would do
All
Right,
of
that.
them need a
right.
goddamn mental health checkup and some medication and an ass whooping to go with that shit.
They
Cause
need
that
to
is
put it.
fucking ridiculous.
They need to put them in, and they need
That
them.
is
We need
fucking
insane asylums
ridiculous.
brought back. These people are crazy as hell.
It's definitely a mental, it's a mental disorder. I mean, they have mental illness like on the highest level. And that's why I am like, okay, we got to get involved locally. We got to do everything we possibly can, start from you and work your way out to make a change, because this is gone too far. And when Trump won, I was like, okay, thank you, Jesus. We have some hope. That means that, many people feel the same way that I do, and we could do something about it. But that's why we got to keep the momentum, because
Right.
just
I
because
agree.
we are making some change now, they're just waves. We got to keep going, because
I
I
don't
don't
see
want
how can we let the Democrats ever have power in
right.
DC again. I don't see how we can until they get some sanity. I don't
Well,
really
I
see
don't
how
think
it could work.
I think the sanity has left the building. Because they definitely are insane in the membrane.
Right,
That's
but
right.
Laverne, they're not really. I don't believe that Jasmine Crockett believes the stuff that she
Oh,
says.
she believe it, because if she didn't believe it, she wouldn't be saying all that dumb shit. She
I don't
believe
think
it.
she believes it. I think it's an
I think she
act. I think
believes.
they
I
get paid.
think that she believed that dumb shit.
There ain't
And
no way. She's
I
been
think
to
it's a
law
little
school.
50-50. I think it's a little 50-50. Some of them believe it, and some of them just go along for the clout
with
and for the show to
right,
become,
That's what
you
I
know,
think. I think that they get rewarded for towing that crazy ass line that they're spewing
boosting their
because
career.
they can't be that damn dumb. They cannot be so stupid that they think that illegals should have more rights than citizens.
they believe that shit. They believe it.
How?
They truly believe that, because they don't
How?
give
Welcome
a
back,
fuck about
Trevia.
their constituents. They don't give a shit about their district. The only thing they care about is sticking to the narrative. And Travia, Tia, Amarosa, one of them was saying that the man was married. He told his wife he identified as an 8-year-old girl. He got adopted by a family in Canada that moved him to their house to play with their 8-year-old daughter.
You know what? I watched the documentary. I'm gonna send you a clip so you can see it. And so you guys can play it
It's
here next
insane.
time. Because
And I will tell you this too.
What?
Bruce Jenner normalized. He went a long way in normalizing this crap when he pulled his deal
Wow.
getting his rearrangement.
It's hotter than a bitch in here. Y'all got to excuse me. And we just got a brand new AC. Them motherfuckers need to come out and fix this shit, because it's hotter than a bitch in here.
Roll the clip.
Y'all just got to excuse me.
Yeah.
Shit. Woo.
So we all know that President Trump went scorched earth on Cyril Ramaphosa of South Africa, saying that there's a genocide going on, and he played a tape of the movement in South Africa that is shouting the song "Kill the Boer, Kill the Farmer." But I think that this is actually also something that probably should have been shown. What this is: white people burying a black man alive.
That's what that is?
That is a black man in South Africa being buried alive by a white
What?
farmer.
Oh my God.
So let's really play this how it really is, because we know the history.
You said,
We can
Travian,
understand
you said
why
that's a
South
man?
Africans feel the,
You said
Yeah, we
that's a man
do.
that was
buried?
During apartheid, yeah.
he put him inside a casket alive
That's insane.
and closed the top on it. So we need to make sure that when we're telling a story for the media to spew everywhere, that we tell the whole story. And President Trump did not do that, because we still know what's happening in South Africa and what has happened in South Africa. When you look at the history of it, the minority ownership taking over all of Africa, making South Africans slaves on their own land, that's something that was not discussed yesterday. I thought President Trump was not at his best when he did that, not telling the whole story, because people in South Africa know that they still live in fear of white people in South Africa. So I was very disappointed in President Trump yesterday, because if you're going to tell the story, tell the whole story.
That broke my heart. That
With
really
every
broke
story,
my heart.
every story, you should get both sides.
You know,
But I don't think
don't-
that 60 people, is
45.
going to break our immigration system. Whatever color they are. 60 white guys, everybody's
Well,
so upset.
we don't even want any. We don't want any immigrants. We don't want anybody coming across our borders.
You're right. We don't.
Guess what? We have to take care of those people. I don't want to take care of those motherfuckers. I don't give a
I don't want to take care of them either,
that need to
girl.
be taken care of here. And so when you say 45 people, that's 45 people taking $25 of my tax dollars. I
agree.
Shit. We don't owe them anything.
Okay. And remember,
they're
they
not
didn't
seeking
just
asylum. They're seeking convenience, and that's what happened.
Remember, they didn't just
I think we need to get back to the grassroots of what we're trying to do here in America.
I
We have
agree.
to keep America first. I don't care where they're coming from.
We must.
We have to keep it America only and fix what's going on in this country. I'm not trying to shed a tear for nobody. Nobody.
I mean, I feel for them.
But
I
these
feel
people
for all of
here,
them.
and we keep
But I mean,
overextending
we
ourselves,
have,
and guess
we
what
don't
we're
even
for?
have decent bill. Was so ashamed when he went to the Middle East to see how those leaders, what kind of luxury and beauty they have all around them. And then here in America, the dregs of society. Like, really? With the amount of money that we pay in and the little that we get, I don't even think the Medicaid, I don't think anybody is getting the money, even a small fraction of what they should be getting with what we pay in and what we also take in.
Tia, I work with the seniors, and I'm going to say it, I'll say it again. A lot of them seniors get $60, $70. That ain't no fucking money to live off of. I don't even see like how they eat with that little bit of money that they're giving them monthly from their Social Security to be able to live off of. I don't even see that shit.
How do they live? I don't know. I don't know. I figure I'll have to work until I drop dead. I'm just in between jobs right now.
And then you can't even retire in the system till you 65. So about time if you retire, you think you get ready to get some benefits, you can forget that shit, because you're going to be so goddamn old, that you ain't going to be able to enjoy that shit.
Well, and it's sad because, we can't take care of the world. We can't take care of the world if we have our own families here suffering, not knowing how, living out of their cars until they get their car taken away. And then they're living out on the streets because, dad can't go to the shelter because they only accept women and children. And then they're separated. It's terrible. The homeless situation here.
A lot of those shelters are not in the best shape.
No.
Let me show y'all this. Can you see this?
It's really horrible.
Oh, damn.
Not the
Doesn't that look good?
I'm going to bring a little bowl so you can share.
Come on over, girls.
Well, I will tell you, there is money to be made in other countries. It's one of the reasons why I work with the Ministry of Foreign Affairs in Qatar. It's the reason why I work on projects in Riyadh and Saudi Arabia, because the real money is there. They're not allowing for people who work every day to the bone to have enough money to buy a house, to put their kids through college. I'm going to go work where the money is. And I can make money there. And I can do what I need to do here. I can say what I want to say here because they're not paying me in this country. I make my money in other countries. So look into foreign lands to make money. They love Americans. They love American ideas. Take your landscape beyond this country, because if you do, as you see, 31 million illegals trouncing in here, and I don't care if it's 45 for South Africa or 250 from Poland or Afghanistan. I do not care. We have so many issues in this country. We need to stay focused. And
You're
the
right.
more you all get sentimental and say, well, those 45 people aren't going to make or break our tax dollars. Yes, they do. Yes, they do. I don't want to give nobody a penny. I want my money to go into this country and stay to people who pay taxes in this country. And while we're being all, well, we should, we are the world. No, the fuck we're not. We're not the world. We are the United States of America. And right now we are not united because guess what? We're fighting over all this illegal, all these people wanting to come in here. That's what triggers me when I got to take care of the motherfuckers that y'all got so kind-hearted to let in here. I don't give a damn. I don't owe them anything. I don't want a penny going to them.
I agree with you.
Just like we have to figure it out.
I agree with you there. I cannot argue with that point. You're right. I don't want to take care of them either, but I'm like, damn.
I'm not giving them a penny.
They make a big production out of this little handful, but nobody said a word about these 15 million that don't even speak English.
Just because they love contradicting the narrative. It's just petty talk to just say, look what you guys are doing now, but it's offering no real solutions. If anything, they do it on purpose. They do it on purpose to, again, fuel more fire, to take our attentions elsewhere when we know we have a crisis here at home. And I don't mean in our country. I mean in our community, in our neighborhoods. People are suffering. Laverne wouldn't be doing what she does if there wasn't a serious problem.
It's a very serious problem.
Yeah, and you've got vets who served their country and now are homeless. And they're getting nothing.
I mean, that is insane. I don't even know how that happened. I really don't.
It's sad.
We had a whole department called Doge who just laid off a lot of people to go out and find out just how bad we were getting raped with sandpaper, and nobody's been arrested. Nothing. Oh, we can only make recommendations. So you went and told us we paid over $14 trillion over who knows how many years to outside countries for condoms in Sesame Street in Somalia. We did that, and you all are not prosecuting anybody. Nobody's on the chopping block for it. Not a single person. We have to look at what our government is doing to us. I rock with Trump. We in the foxhole together. That's not the issue. But what I am here to do is call out what this government promised to us. We get these little nooks and crannies, these little sugar-coated, peanuts. But we were raped of trillions of dollars.
Trillions.
And then y'all threw it in our face and showed, they took 500 million from there. They took 200 million from there and had Sesame Street in Lithuania. The fuck is going on here?
Trevion, do you think they're going to do something about it? Do you think that they're going to do something about it, or do you think that it was just smoke?
It's bullshit, because when we reach out to Doge, they say, oh, we can't press charges. We were only, hired to make recommendations.
And then Elon threw his hands up. That's how you know.
Exactly.
Nothing's going to happen.
He's tired of this shit. And he still gets to sit behind the crown prince in Saudi Arabia. And he's tired of this shit. Everybody's trying to play the game, but at what point do we stop playing this game and start throwing punches? Because right now we need to throw some fucking punches. Because we are the ones who are going to be
but how do we do it? But how do we do it in a way that matters?
That's how we do everything else. You stop fucking playing along with these people who we elected. I don't care about the cabinet. I don't rock with nobody in that cabinet. My loyalty and allegiance is to President Trump, and that's it. I don't have to give a damn about anybody he put in his seat. One thing I do know about President Trump, he'll put a lot of goofy motherfuckers in there that have an opinion just so he can hear all sides. That's one thing I do know about him. But I don't have to like with him. I don't have to rock with any of them. And right now they all let us down. Pam Bondi is a joke. Cash Patel with his cross-eyed ass is always, well, Epstein killed himself. No, he didn't, you fucking liar. I'm tired of you fucking liars. You're all fucking liars. And we have had it. And the youth in this country are rising up. Free speech
Thank
is
God.
free speech, and it's absolute. If they want to say Heil Hitler, these motherfuckers can say Heil Hitler. If you want to call me a nigger, just call me super nigger.
Did you
Just
see
call
that?
me super nigger. You hear me?
Did you see that in LA?
What's happening in this country?
What happened?
What's happening behind a group of people. We need to fucking fight back about that shit. Because once they take it from you and you over at Harvard, they're going to come for you, and me.
Right. It's true.
Yeah, in LA, they posted a video today. A group of guys got together and started singing Kanye West's new song.
Yes.
Did you see that?
I haven't seen it.
The video.
You did? I haven't seen it yet.
Yes, I promoted the video. Actually, we played it on the show last week.
Uh-oh. I missed it.
Because free speech is absolute. Everybody wanted, when the little boy or kid got called a nigger, everybody wanted to be mad and say nigger, nigger, nigger. I'm glad, be free, okay? I want everybody to be free. But when Kanye West says nigger, Heil Hitler, y'all got to deal with that. Just like we deal with nigger. Just call me super nigger.
I haven't seen it, so I can't even. I did see some tweets about it, but I didn't see the video.
I mean, he talks about how with all his money and fame, he can't even get to see his kids. Like, this is a real song. People tell, he's like, look, I got so much. They took his kids from him. Then they closed his bank accounts. Who did that? Jews. Everything that Kanye says about Jews, they turn around and do. They just canceled all of his shows. They don't let his music play on the DSPs. They just canceled his show in South Korea. Everything that he's always said, because this man is free. And whether you all want to believe it or not, Kanye West is the first black leader we have had since Malcolm X. He's not afraid of anybody. He will say it. He will do it. He's got the money to back it up. And that's
the key.
what scares them. So this is why Jews
He's a threat. He's a threat.
From Kanye West. And so when you ask me how I feel about him as a person who is his friend, who will talk to him, who will do what he needs for me to do, I see what's happened to him. I was there when Jamie Dimon closed his bank accounts. For what?
What? Yeah. How is that legal?
It's not. But it's Kanye West, the freest black man in this country, and they have to try and contain him. So Kanye,
oh, I see what you're saying. Okay.
Say what you want, do what you want. We only have you, and it won't be until something happens that black people will realize we had a black leader and nobody wanted to respect it.
Well, I remember when he first started coming up, a lot of people were respecting him.
Yeah, play the clip.
Let's see the clip.
Oh, here we go.
Yeah. Africa, other countries too. People, they say there's a lot of bad things going on in Africa, and that's what we're going to be discussing today. When you say we don't take that, all you have to do is take a look at the Southern border. We let 21 million people come to our border, totally unchecked, totally all over the world. Tremendous complaints.
So Alex Jones reported on that incident yesterday, and he himself didn't think it was appropriate for President Trump to disrespect a leader of a country playing a video without, reporting on the full story. So that clip was from Alex Jones. This is an interesting situation and turning of tides of events. A lot of people are coming out and speaking up about what this administration is doing, and so I'm just going to be one of those people.
I mean, we have to know. The thing about it is you have to, and we don't. There's so much noise coming from everywhere that really you just get so overwhelmed. You don't.
Right. And
I think you get kind of over it.
How
you
fast
get like, I don't want to hear it anymore. You're upset about this. They're upset about that.
It's so important to show the whole story, because now people get information quicker than ever before. and no one checks facts, no one looks at anything, they'll look to someone that maybe they like and say, well, this happened because so and so said that. And I believe what they say without going and checking the facts or going to look at the whole story.
Even if
There's
you check the
always two
facts.
sides to the story, right? And that's
My
the
husband
only way
says
you're going to
3
build
sides. It's
change.
your side, their side, and the
And the
truth lies
truth.
somewhere in the middle.
That's
Right.
right.
And the only way we can fix things is if we get the full story and then sit down and talk and say, okay,
Absolutely.
But how are
everything's
we
on
going to
the
get the
table.
full story, girl? This is the problem. How are
We
we going to
need-
get the full story?
We need more people who are empowered by, like what Trevion said, to speak their truth. And we need more people to support those type of people to spread the news and say, look, this is the full story. It may have some on this side and it may have some on this side, but let's look at it
Yes.
all and see if we can talk about it, have a good dialogue and see, okay, what is the solution? But only through that. But a lot of people are afraid to speak about the truth.
I mean, you can't say anything anymore without getting in trouble. Even my own
Fuck
kids.
that.
If I say any, listen to me. This is a true story. It happened last week. One of my daughters has a big fancy house, and she's getting all the landscaping redone, and she's getting everything pulled out. So I was talking to my other daughter on the phone, and the guy comes to the door, and somebody rang the doorbell, and I wasn't expecting it. And I said, "Hold on, I got to get the door." And it's a glass door, and I said, "Oh, it's a big black guy. He's like 6'5". She goes, "Mom, you are so racist." I said, "How am I?" Because I acknowledged the fact that there's a black dude at the door. I'm sorry, I didn't know that was racist. He's like 6'7", 6'5".
But
This
if it
is a
was a
big
big,
dude.
but if it was a big fat white guy, we would
I
have
would have said the same
thing.
thing. There's a big white
Yes,
guy at the
ma'am.
door.
Well,
Yeah,
don't
you
be
can't
afraid
say
to
anything.
get in trouble. This is why nothing changes, because y'all sit back and y'all scared to get in trouble. My mugshot is real. I'm not scared of none of this shit. Look, we need real people who don't have, a fear of, oh my God, my friends are gonna they're not gonna like me
Forget
anymore.
Who
that.
I'm
am I
gonna lose my
offending
job.
today? Oh,
You
I
know-
I
can't
mean,
say
I
that.
don't want to.
Right.
I'll be
Oh,
honest with you. I
no.
do not. I don't want to offend people because I love people. But
The truth is the
the
truth.
truth is the truth, right? The truth is the truth.
And if
I
it
can't. That
costs
is
you your
just like
friends,
saying
oh
I
well.
don't. I see a gay guy dressed as a woman. He says he's a woman, and you want me to call him a woman, but I can plainly see he's not. This is the same thing with seeing color. We see each other's color. It's a fact, I'm white, you're black. It's just a fact of life. This is not racism. This is just life.
Facts. It's facts.
Right, right.
Right.
So you're right. That is, you can't say anything
Man,
really
I'ma
without
say
getting in trouble
everything.
anymore. You really
I'm gonna say
can't.
it all. You're gonna hear it from me. Trust and believe.
Gonna hear it
And I'm
from
gonna
me too.
always
I
try.
don't
And
give
when
a
I'm
shit what
wrong,
color you is.
right?
I
And
could
when
care
I'm wrong,
less.
I'm gonna say
Trust and
I'm wrong.
believe. You
That's
gonna
the
get
thing.
it from me. I
Girl,
don't care.
I
I
can't
don't
say no.
care.
I work with lots of illegal aliens, Hispanics,
Ice,
mostly.
ice, ice,
Girl,
ice.
you don't think I didn't call her the day I left the job. I was like this on the phone. But really out there, I'm not trying to get murked out in the field. I'm a welder. These guys are construction workers. They're rough and tough. They will make you disappear. These Hondurans and shit, Venezuelans.
What's
So
the
yeah.
address? What's the address?
Oh
Let me
girl,
help you out.
trust and
Put the
believe me when I
address.
tell you. It's been
Put the
reported.
address up. DM me the address. Let me
Oh, I
help you.
will. I will.
Let me
I don't
help
have a
you out.
problem with that at all because honestly, they're good paying jobs, really good paying jobs. And people are, oh, they're working for pennies. No, they're not. They made the same amount of money as everybody else on the job. The only way they're getting screwed money wise is when they go through an agency that brings them all in. They take part of their pay,
Right.
for getting them onto the job. But as far as the companies go, it's the same rate of pay.
Who's the agency? Because that's the culprit.
They are
Tell me who
temp.
the
They're the
agency
temp.
is.
I
I'll
don't.
roll up
I
my
don't
eyes.
know because I've never used a temp
Deceased.
agency for work. But they
Okay.
do. They bring in the workers when, they need to complete a job. They call a temp agency. They charge them an arm and a leg, and then the guys come in. They don't speak English. They work for 3 or 4 weeks. So you complete the job, and it's they send them to the next job. But I don't know but I know they are temp agencies all over all the big cities. Atlanta, Houston,
Because
all
it's
over Texas and Louisiana because there's a lot of work always there. in LNG and refineries and chemical plants. So,
Okay.
Which is,
Well, G, do we have
girl, if
another
you want that
clip?
information, I can load you up. I'll
Please
find it
do.
out. Okay. Right. Because, listen to me when I tell you, I have two sons, but I would have loved for them to be able to make $100,000 a year, their first job out of high school. That's what they make. They're making.
Free, free Palestine! Free, free Palestine! Free, free Palestine!
So this is the guy that killed the two people in DC yesterday from the south side of Chicago. South side.
Represent.
But nonetheless, people are trying to discuss, everything was looking, very dismal for Israel. And people said, oh, boom, we've got this, false flag. They're trying to start a war in Iran. How do you guys feel about that? Because bro is from the south side of Chicago. You got about 200,000 dead people in Palestine. It might not have to do with anything with Israel. Bro could just be like, I'm coming from the south side. I'm about to murk somebody.
And I want to show my face and associate it with some message, right?
Right. So it may not have had, in my opinion, coming from the south side, I don't know how you would be, connected to.
I mean, maybe he has maybe he has Palestinian ancestry. I mean,
that's what I'm saying. I don't think this is a false flag. I think it works to Israel's benefit. And I don't know if he thought that out all the way, but I don't think they set him up and then him screaming, free Palestine, free Palestine. That's just an amazing PR optic for Israel and their agenda. So
you're saying it could be a psyop perpetrated by the Jews to bring support to their.
I'm saying everybody is saying that. I'm saying I don't think that, because him coming from the south side, that's a whole different thing. He might just have family members that got murdered in Palestine.
I mean, look, you have to be a nut. There's not enough money for you to say I'm giving up my freedom for the rest of my life.
Well,
you know what I'm saying, or maybe die there doing that.
People,
so
for their cause, some people they will do that because they are so passionate. It's like when you believe in something so wholeheartedly and you see that there's an injustice going on because it's their belief, they're willing to die for their belief. I do believe there's people like that, but we have to remember there's also people like when you look at the transgenders for Palestine, or I've seen all kinds of weird stuff. There's also people like what we said before, they'll see something and they'll say, I want to get on that bandwagon and I'm going to join them without knowing what they're talking about. Without even knowing the whole story, and they just want to associate their name with this cause and they go with it. Now, like you said, he may have some kind of ties, but he may not understand it all. But I thought it was weird too. I was like, from Chicago.
How if you I don't why come here to America? This is not happening here. It's not, as you say, it's not our war. It's not our problem. Why are they coming here if it's not paid? If they aren't benefiting somehow, how does this support their cause? I don't think Trump's going to get involved in it.
The U.S. is a world stage.
I don't care.
I really do believe that.
I don't see. To me, it is a setup. They set him up. He did what he did, but why here? I don't understand. That affects nobody here. After this week, they won't talk about it again.
Yeah, what? I don't think he picked who he was even going to kill. He was waiting outside there, and whoever walked out of there, they was getting a pew pew. So I don't think he had planned it out as much as people are like the media is trying to portray it. And people are like, oh my God, Jews have to arm up. We're not protected out here. Bullshit. He was going to fire on anybody coming out of that, Jewish embassy or whatever it was. He was going to kill somebody Jewish. But that doesn't mean because this idiot from the south side kills two people, oh, now everybody's trying to kill Jews in America, like everything in the media. Like
it just feeds the mass hysteria.
Right. It's like y'all can't play victim all the time. You know, y'all over there killing 200,000 people. You don't think there's going to be any retribution? That's the problem.
I'm saying this though. Why can't
when you
they?
do things, there's going to be a response. And last night was a response. So
Why can't they just handle their own business? Why can't they just handle their own business?
that's what I say. Because but I do know, this is what I think about President Trump. I think President Trump is way too intelligent to allow the United States to go into this war with Iran, with Israel. That I know he's smarter, because let's break down a few things. Iran is the water pipeline to the Middle East. Without Iran, none of the Middle Eastern countries have water. Number two, Russia and China both rely on their oil supply from Iran. Iran, China, and Russia were doing bomb, exercises off the coast of the Red Sea. We don't have the stronghold on Iran like we used to. Iran is a very, very proud and smart country. They are the smartest of all, the most intelligent of all of the Middle Eastern people, which is why they are hated by the other Middle Eastern countries. They have been able to avoid going to war with anybody for over 25 or 30 years. That's how, and people in this country underestimate the power of Iran.
And let's not forget Valerie Jarrett. They are turning out some. Yeah, you're right. They are turning out some real top intellectuals. That's how
they are.
People overlook her a lot. She's
and they have nuclear weapons. Our government is not admitting to that, but they have nuclear weapons. They may not be on site in Iran, but they have access to them. And that's
right, because they've had uranium forever. So how could they? Yeah,
exactly. I'm like, Americans need to stop saying, oh, we're going to bomb the crap out of Iran. No, we're not.
But really, we should do the dome.
It's going to be smart enough, because Israel can't be begging to keep us in their wars. They can't.
Look, girl, I'm saying this. I don't have, even though I am half Jewish, I don't live in Israel. I'm not an Orthodox Jew. I'm a Christian. I don't want to be a part of that. But if they are so persecuted by Hamas, by Iranians sending Hamas, why can't they have superior firearms, weaponry, everything. They could eliminate every person over there if they wanted to. Why don't they? Why are they not doing that?
They have to worry about Russia.
Everyone hates them anyway.
Right. Iran and China are not going to allow their oil supplies to be destroyed. This has a lot of legs. This is not just, we jump in and Iran fights.
There's something right. There's something deeper, or else they wouldn't need us there. Right.
Of course it is.
This is what people need to understand. There's something deeper.
Yep.
Or they don't need anybody else, because they could eliminate every Palestinian that was over there if they wanted to.
They just bombed Iran. They bomb everybody when they get ready. They will not try that with Iran, because Iran is the superpower in the Middle East that they just don't want to, they don't want that smoke.
Yeah, well, we need to know. This is things that American citizens need to know. These are things that they don't all need to be kept quiet, top secret. People are not stupid. They need to be able to vote for things based upon facts like this, these hidden facts that none of us know about.
Right.
About the real connections, what's going on behind the scenes in the real.
And before you jump to conclusions, check yourself. Check where that information comes from, because every action has a consequence, and you may be part of it by not looking into it. Because every time you speak to someone and you pass that narrative, it's a weapon, because then it makes people look at it, and they look at it only from one way.
Yep.
Right. Right.
That's crazy.
So, G, do we have a clip?
Is this Kanye? I hope that.
We'll further honor our military next month on June 14th, when he hosts the 250th anniversary of the United States Army with a grand military parade celebration right here in our nation's capital. President Trump will be joined by veterans, active duty troops, wounded warriors, Gold Star families, and patriotic Americans from across the country to celebrate our heroes who have kept us safe. Tickets for the parade and the celebration are available through the America 250 Commission's event registration portal. It will be a truly historic and special day for our country. The president will.
Okay.
So we are about to celebrate 250 years of the United States of America with a grand parade, which I think Trump probably took some ideas for those grand parades in China. Let's see how they, celebrate, where this country has come from and where it is. Let's see what, he's been
They
now in
include
the Middle East and Qatar and Saudi Arabia, and he sees the grandeur and the grandiose of the, how they, roll these celebrations out. So let's see. Trump put some more gold in the White House. Let's see what he does with this parade.
Yeah, I can't wait to see. I remember 19, I don't know if y'all do. I remember the bicentennial year, and it was the whole year was about bicentennial year. So I think it's a good thing. And I think I was in the third grade. I remember it being patriotic, like a proud moment for America. Like everybody, I think it's a good thing, even though I know people are like, we don't need to spend money. Yeah, America's not a good place. It was never a good place. It was a good place. It is a good place. And I think we should stoke patriotism in our youth because it's important to care about your country.
Right.
Yeah, and
All of the history of it.
revitalize that American spirit, because for so long people were ashamed to say, I love my country, put out a flag. I mean,
And
look
a
at Kelly
parade.
Bird over there with her hat. Okay.
Not May.
Up in her hat. Okay. Where before people would feel ashamed to say that. I think we need to build that spirit. We need to be proud for where we came from. And you know what? A lot of the times we are proud of where we came from because of the difficulties that we overcame. It's not all butterflies and rainbows. It means that we have endured a lot, and that's why we're proud, because of our story. So I think it's great. I hope that schools get involved.
Me too.
Right.
And
Me too. And they really should. The way the Olympics has gone, I can
Oh.
remember back before you ladies may not remember this. I remember when the Olympics were a big deal because there wasn't 1,000 different things to watch on television. The Olympics were a thing, we all watched it. And it was a big deal when your country won a medal. Like it was a big thing. I went to the Olympics in 88 and watched America play Russia, play hockey, and girl, this kind of thing makes you so proud and makes you connected to important things going on in your country.
It's an important part of culture to be, patriotic and know where you come from. I mean, my parents came from Greece. They came legally in 1969. They ended up living in the States longer than they ever lived in Greece. And they still have their love for their heritage. And I'm going to tell you right now, my dad and my mom were all about 4th of July, and they were patriotic because they were proud to be a part of this melting pot country. And it doesn't mean you have to exchange your heritage or maybe your culture, your family culture of your food, because what is the US after all? It's a melting pot of all these different people that came here, brought their families, and
that was the pride of it. Everybody could come here and they assimilated and loved their country and loved each other really and got to enjoy each other's culture. But we can't hardly do that anymore.
No, it was something. So I remember my dad telling me, be proud that you were born in the United States. Be proud of that, because this country has gone through a lot. And here he was born in Greece. My mom and dad born in Greece. And, they said, okay, we're proud of our country that we were born in because of this, but be proud, look into your history and be proud of that, fight and that struggle, because we have overcome a lot. We have. And people only focus on the negative. The media wants to focus on the negative.
Boy,
Again,
that is so true.
they want to divide. They love to divide. That's what sells. Drama sells. That's what gets conversations going. They don't want to see unity. They want to create the narrative.
They aren't seeing it either. They're seeing exactly what they want. A
You know, they've
lot
been
of
doing that for
chaos.
years, but I think that more and more that less people are actually buying into that. You know, I don't think people are buying into it the way they used to because, you know, if that was the case, then you wouldn't have so many Black people that made the choice to become a conservative when we always thought of the conservative party as the KKK and the racist party. That's what the media painted for
The
us to
narrative
believe.
again.
That was the
Mhm.
narrative for us to believe. But so many of us woke up and stopped drinking that Kool-Aid. So
My parents, and my whole family, my mother, they were all diehard Democrats. They thought I was a crazy fool. I've never voted for a Democrat in my entire life. I'm 57 years old. They thought I
Amen.
was crazy as a loon. They
That's
thought I was crazy as a loon.
well,
And
I'm
that's
older than
that's
you
great.
are.
You shouldn't vote based on loyalty of how your family voted. Research what's important to you, what's happening in your community, what change do you want to see, and get behind the people that are working for that.
Absolutely.
That's your team. You know, you got
What
to
they
keep
say and
Absolutely.
what
That's
they
your
do, though,
team.
is
That's your
not the
team.
same thing.
Exactly.
right.
They used to have a saying when I was a kid. They said, if you want to live like a Republican, vote Democrat. Do y'all remember that?
No,
So
I don't.
whenever they say, oh, the party switched, I say, yeah, well, you ain't lying. If you want to live like a Democrat, vote Republican.
right,
If you
right.
want to have some money in your pocket, yeah,
Right.
that, and I think that's what happened. I really do. I think they found out how they could funnel that money into the people that have regular jobs in the community, city council people, mayors, your local government. They found a way to fix the system where regular people like us that never really made much money but got by nicely, they funneled money to them and they liked it. They want to be part of that. I uh, I think Kemp is a good example of that. He is such a, to me, gross lying redneck. And when he went to Davos, I was like, you stick out like a sword. What are you even doing? You have got to be doing something corrupt because you do not belong. You and your homely ass wife looking like you just stepped out of Walmart at Davos. Go home. Like, seriously,
Okay.
if people can't just see that and go, this is not right. There's some shenanigans going on here. This man doesn't
Something that
belong
we're
here.
not seeing, right?
Right. Haven't heard a word. The guy went twice. He went 2 years in a row. I said, I can't. If I was in Atlanta, I don't even need to know. I'm not voting for you. You went to
Right.
Davos 2 years in a row for what? For how did that benefit you or the people of Atlanta?
Well, I mean, he cheated
Yeah, we know they don't
Stacey
give a damn
Abrams.
about their district. You know, it's
None
God.
of
all
them.
about what's in it for them. And that's
And
part of the problem. What's in it for them?
speaking
That's the
of,
main thing that they are concerned about.
Keisha Lance Bottom just threw her hat in the ring to run for governor of
Governor.
Georgia.
Oh, really?
And I mean, first of all, you quit as the mayor. You ran a shithole city. Like, I really hate even going to Atlanta because either your car's gonna get broken into or stolen.
The
Everybody's
traffic.
a scammer. Everybody's a scammer. So
Scamming.
and then you got Fannie Willis, the scammer, who's been scamming Fulton County. So,
What about Stacey
I
Abrams,
think
too? Lord.
Atlanta
Warnock.
is just a joke to me because it's just so shameful. Brian Kemp cheated Stacey Abrams. She never got over it. And the reason why he couldn't allow the investigation into the 2020 election for President Trump is because it would have allowed Stacey Abrams to go back and look at the records in her race. So, Georgia, they used to say that if you take Georgia, you take the South. I now know that to be false. You've got to take Tennessee to take the South.
Well, look,
So
they're also getting a little crazy there too. So
in Tennessee,
they are getting a little
no,
crazy there
Tennessee
too.
they don't
But
play.
Nashville is
No,
like
no,
Dallas,
no,
Texas.
no, no.
You don't
Tennessee
think
don't play.
so?
Tennessee does not play whatsoever. You come in there acting crazy, they gonna show you what crazy is.
Crazy.
I mean,
It's
I
crazy
think
to throw
I think
everybody in
Georgia
a
used to
shot.
be that way. I do. I think Georgia used to be that way. Texas used to be that way. You can't. I'm afraid to even go to Austin. I won't even go to Austin. I grew up in Dallas. I will not go to Austin. It's too crazy. They're crazy.
I can appreciate Tennessee
because all the
they like, you
Californians
won't
move
bring
there.
that down here. No, you won't.
I hope they don't. I hope they don't. I hope you're right about that, girl, because they're so beautiful. The place is historical. Let's talk about New Orleans, what they did to New Orleans. I used to dream about going to New Orleans, seeing those graveyards, seeing the moss growing out of the trees. After reading Interview with the Vampire, I wanted to go there so bad. And then I went, and it was beautiful and wonderful, and just how she described it in the books. And then they started taking down all the monuments, all the historic. And to me, it was just a historical, it was a place you go to see history. And they started undoing all of that. I fear they're going to do that in every southern city that has that kind of history of prosperity during the Civil War. Atlanta was one. North Carolina's got some places like that. They kind of ruined New Orleans. You can't go there. It's scary. You know,
I'm good. I'm on podcast right now.
They want to erase history.
they're doing a pretty good job of it and distorting it as well. If they
Right.
can't erase it, they distort history. Of course, we weren't there, so how can we know for sure? I don't know.
Y'all want to know why I took that call? You want to
It
know
was-
who that was? That was
Yes.
the band for the Eagles.
What?
Yes.
They're from Texas.
Eagles now.
What?
Yeah.
Don Henley?
Yes.
Let me tell you a little fun fact. My husband is the biggest. My husband is the biggest Eagles fan. We have gone to see them so much. That right there, if I told my husband, he'd come up from downstairs and be like, "What?"
You should have brought him on. Why didn't you bring him on?
Oh, he sings as a hobby. He has a great voice. He does some amazing Eagles covers with his band. But
Wow.
Don Henley, Glenn Fry, rest in peace. I mean,
Bernie
that
Legend.
was, when I think about, being here in California, I like to think of that. I don't want to sound old, okay? Because I'm not that old. I'm 49. But I hate to say it, and I love all kinds of music.
You all are young ladies.
Okay, I love all kinds of music. Because I was born in Chicago. I have
Okay.
soul, like I love soul music, like I like old school soul. But I love me some good old rock and roll like the Eagles, and they just don't make that kind of music anymore where lyrics had a meaning and there were instruments. Now it's all about
They don't do anything like they used to,
bass and a
girl.
beat.
No.
Well, just an update. Don Henley has a single project coming out. Bernie Legend has a single project coming out. And Don Felder's song actually releases tomorrow. He's got a single out called Free at Last. So, despite the fact that they're on tour at the Sphere now, they're all launching solo projects, and I'm just working on some of those things.
That's
Okay, that's really cool.
Congratulations.
Cheers.
You know
I'm
where he's from, Don
cheers
Henley.
to that. That's awesome.
He's from Linden, Texas, and it's like 1,000 people. It's a town of like 1,000 people. Have you ever been there? Because he has a Eagles museum or a Don Henley museum in the town.
I want to go.
Wow.
I got to go see the Eagles when they came here to Dodger Stadium. It was their first show after Glenn Fry had passed away, like as a band. And I got to see Glenn Fry's son sing, and I'm telling you, I was so emotional.
Let's all
Hearing
go. I
him
want to go.
sing the songs that his father sang with his father's bandmates. It was just like so moving.
Girl, can you imagine how much money they made for California? I couldn't wait to go on and see Route 66 and travel all the route that their songs talked about. And then they had to come out and tell us that there was some devil worshiping shit. I said, what? Can anything just be normal?
The devil finds his way into everything, okay? He finds his way into every single thing, even in our own families, he finds his way in. And it's our job to not pay
I
any
say
attention.
ignore the devil. I love that
Right.
shit. I don't
Because he
care.
wants our
If the
attention.
devil's
He
in it,
wants
I'm
our
sorry.
attention. Nah.
I know that's right. Forget
Ignore
that.
the devil.
Because
All
he
right,
wants
ladies.
your
See what's the
attention.
next clip.
Oh no.
Oh,
What
well,
now?
speaking of the devil,
Obama and continues all of the Bush policies after running on, I'm going to repeal all of these policies. And then, and look, there was a pivot when Obama was running for re-election. And what did Obama come out and say for his re-election campaign? He's got this base of liberals who he hasn't done anything that he promised. So what did he say? I'm for gay marriage. I'm the first president who's ever been for gay marriage. And they put the White House up with the pride flag colors. This was a concerted effort from the top. You can go look. There are these nexus charts where you can map out words in major publications. The New York Times, the Washington Post, like the big dogs. Go track how many times the word racism was mentioned. And around 2012, it shoots up. Yep. Social justice shoots up. Transgenderism shoots up. White privilege shoots up. This was forced on the American people. Why are we having these conversations now? No, the people did not wake up one day and decide we want to have a national conversation about chicks with. That didn't happen. This wasn't an organic movement. It was all of the most powerful people decided this is what we're talking about. And why was that? When you're failing on policy, you pivot to a culture war. Yep. You pit people against each other, so they're fighting each other. They like you fighting about issues like abortion. Now, I'm not saying abortion isn't a very important issue. It's a very important issue. But us fighting about that issue doesn't scare anyone at the Federal Reserve. It doesn't scare anyone in the CIA. They love you fighting over transgender bathrooms. Yep.
things that make you go.
And he's right. You know, it's always a conversation about chicks with dicks. So we need to move on.
This chick does not have a dick. Okay,
At
just
all.
make that very clear.
I haven't even seen a dick in about a decade. I don't even care about those things anymore.
Money calls. I gotta go jump on this call. Thank you guys.
Thank you for inviting me.
Rosa.
Travia.
I'll try and get you guys some tickets to a show.
That would be fabulous.
Girl, please, please. I will listen. I will cook your ass the best dinner
Greek
every
meal.
single week. Okay.
Uh-oh.
I'm a good cook, by the way.
Okay. Thank you,
Be
Laverne.
well.
Bye.
Hey, I'll call you later.
Okay, I'll see you next week.
Okay.
Laverne, are you running for something in South Florida now?
No.
Oh, I thought I read something on when I Googled you that you were running.
I ran before. I ran in 2020.
Why are you not running now?
I'm not running. I'm tired of running. I'm tired. You know, for me, it would have to be a seat, but it's more to it than that because I don't want to spend my time running and then they throw people into your race. You know,
Oh yeah, to mess you up.
So I don't like that. You know, it's too much. It's like too much involved when you're putting all your time and energy into running for these seats. And first of all, on that congressional ticket, as a Black woman, there are no Black congressional women on that ticket as a conservative, and there has not been one since '84.
It
Okay,
seems like that would be a positive to have a Black woman on there.
Positive, but it's not a positive when you spend your time and energy doing it, and then they just throw people in your race. You know,
Right.
You're talking about the RNC?
Yes, exactly. You know exactly who I'm talking about. They would throw people in your race that knock you out, and we saw that happen all across the slate for conservative candidates. They always do it for the people that really have a chance, for they allow you to win. They throw other people into your race. So, you know, that stuff is already time consuming. So rather than fight like that, I just rather wait till I feel like it's the right time again. Then I would decide which seat I want to run for. There are not any Black women in on the conservative as a in those Senate seats, you know, anyway, and congressional seats. So I think we have work that needs to be done, especially when you have people like Jasmine Crockett and the others that sit up there and say all that dumb shit that they want to. Nobody even like entertains her or answer her, and they just let her sit there and do that because they're too afraid to say anything because they don't want to be judged and worrying about what somebody's going to say about them concerning that.
I mean, I agree with you. I just don't understand why I do understand why. I take that back. I do understand why she does what she does because she gets the attention, just like AOC. They want to be in the spotlight because all publicity is good publicity, and that
At the end
is.
of the day, you're right.
Mhm.
You are
Everybody knows who
absolutely.
she is now, and she was nobody. Nobody, and everybody knows who she is now. She stays in the news all the time. I asked you that question. I live in the Panhandle, so I live. You wouldn't be near my district anyway, but I had Matt Gaetz was my congressman.
Okay, so you right up the road from me.
Where are you?
Miami.
Well, that's pretty good. Well, 6, 7 hours from me.
Yeah. Yep.
That's pretty good. Okay, yeah, I was asking because I have a girlfriend in Texas that is very interested, but she tells me all the time she's not going to do it because you have to have money, you have to have a name. How do you? I don't know how. I thought maybe you
So
might, that would be something
unfortunate.
for good for you to do on this podcast is to tell people how do you
Right.
get started? What do you do? Because people that are interested that would like to do it don't know how, what the first step would be.
You
What do they
know,
do?
And how do you
talk
support
about that.
people like that
Go ahead,
so
I'm a
that they
Rose.
can get the backing that they need? Because it's
Of course,
unfortunate.
it's listen, and I talk about that a lot on the podcast. If you're gonna run for office, first of all, you need to believe in yourself. When I ran for that seat, I didn't ask anybody what do they think about me running or should I do it. You know, a lot of people are really afraid. They're really afraid. But for me, because I have a nonprofit organization, because I've been fighting for my community for like 30, 40 years, just fighting for the underserved population. And I know what these people go through trying to get the help that they need because I'm going to say it, and I always say it, I'm going to say it again. You have a lot of people, a lot of young people that are taking care of their older parents that may have dementia. They have kids that are artistic, and they may have a couple of kids and elderly people all under the same roof that they're taking care of. And that's very fucking frustrating when you don't know where to turn to get the help that you need. Okay. So when a lot of times when they reach out to their elected officials, they don't get the help that they're necessarily looking for. So a lot of them are so frustrated that they don't know exactly what to do. So
That's
being that I know that's the case, when Trump said, why don't y'all run for y'all community? Because they're not helping y'all anyway. That's what caught my attention. And I'm going to say it again. That's what caught a lot of Black conservatives that never would have thought about running for office in 2020. A lot of us say, fuck it, he's right. And I'm going to run and at least try. So when I jumped in the race, I didn't give a shit about who said or what they said, because before I ran for my district, and the thing is, a lot of these congressional districts, especially in places like my district, is like the fifth poorest district in the state of Florida, right here. Okay, but in the same token, my congressional person here, Frederica Wilson, that I ran against, her concern is Haiti.
Yeah,
It's
I
Haiti.
know who she is. I'm
But your
familiar.
district poor as shit. Help your fucking district. Help the people. This is what pisses me the fuck off. Okay. When they know they got these organizations in their district
NGOs
that are helping people instead of empowering us to be able to do our jobs to the
to
fullest
serve your
extent
community.
by
Yeah.
funding these organizations, they refuse to do that. They refuse to do that. So I said, you know what? I'm going to run. And before I ran against her, the rest of them were scared to do it. They wouldn't do it.
I
They
wish you
didn't
would
even
do it
have the
again. I wish you would
balls.
keep on.
They didn't have the guts.
I'm gonna be the little
You know
person
what
on
I'm
her
saying?
shoulder to keep telling her to
And
do
these
it.
people, they're not going to give up these seats.
Yeah, I
Look
know
how
they're
many
not
people,
because they're getting
they're
those
not,
kickbacks,
they are not going to give up these seats. They,
especially her
until we
messing with
get,
Haiti. She's
we
probably
already
got
have
gazillions.
we already have term limits, but until we start enforcing those term limits, those people are going to die in their seats. So what happens once they've been in the office for so long? They don't give a shit, about their district. They
No,
become
not at all.
desensitized to the needs of their districts. They
No,
become
they're just
totally
worrying about
desensitized,
themselves.
It's
and
it's
they become
totally about what they
celebrities.
can do for themselves. Listen, I don't know if y'all have this down there, but we had a local guy. I don't dislike the guy running for some local city stuff. And he had a young family and he became some type of commissioner. And then his wife ran and then she ran for two or three different things. Like first she ran for city councilwoman, then she ran for school board, then she ran for, and it almost was just like they were both just trying to get in where they could fit in, where they can get their foot in the door and move up the ladder. And I was thinking to myself, how are they surviving? It costs a lot of money to live in Florida, especially if it's around a tourist area.
And Miami is, and it's very expensive here.
So I was thinking to myself, how this woman has two small kids and he's a commissioner. I think he did I think it paid like 150 or something. But that's not that much money for living in, a tourist area. I just felt like it was a scam. Like not only was he trying to do it, then he wanted his wife to do it. And I don't know, it just seemed like a scam. And I thought they need people to do it that don't go in thinking, hey, look, if we get in here, look, we can get kickbacks because where I am is not completely developed yet. It's just now starting to at Navarre Beach, right next to Destin. There's no telling what those people are making. All of a sudden, they're letting businesses come in that couldn't come in there for the last 30 years. So somebody's making some money off that. And I feel like the people that do run locally, the ones that win are those type of people. They
Right.
have the backing of big people, donors, because those donors want to bring in their businesses to that area.
Their projects and everything else that they want.
Right.
So that's
Right.
That's
why they're
what's
gonna put all
baffling.
that money into their campaigns, because they know that they're gonna support whatever it is that they want to push.
That's baffling. That's why nothing ever works. You need someone who's connected to their community that knows what their community needs because they live that community. They see their community. And that's why I remember when I first discovered you, Laverne. Okay, I'm a fangirl right now. Just a little bit. All right, just a little bit. Remember the first time I saw you, I was like, see, that fire that she has in her, okay? That is what more people need for everyone to see so that it can empower them to go and do the same thing. Be courageous. Go do it. And now when you say you're tired, I understand because you're human, you do so much. But I pray,
No, Rango.
hope that fire sparks back up in you because we just need to bring
I agree. I do
cause
agree.
and say, look, do you want it to be about money for
Look, listen, it can be about money. I don't care if they make money, but do
that are
something for
making
your community. I don't think the community care. They understand the people are going to make more money than what their salary is. There's going to be whatever. There's going to be some extra money flowing to the politician. I don't even care if they do right by your community. I don't care if they make some
usually
side money somehow. I don't.
usually they don't. When they go in and make it about the money already, for me it's a turn off.
It's only about, here's the problem.
Right.
It's only about the money. There is nobody running that's like my community. That's gone. This is completely about the money, just as we say about Jasmine Crockett. I have not heard one thing about her community. I've only heard about how she's benefiting from her position.
She's benefiting from her community. That's the sad
Right,
thing.
but they are not
That's why we need
benefiting
to
from her.
educate. We need to
They
educate.
never do.
Right,
That's
but
the
look,
problem.
it could work both ways,
That's
as
the
it
problem.
did. It could
That
work
is the
both
whole
ways.
problem in a nutshell. But look at how much energy they put into helping these illegals. Look at all the places.
They're
They gave
getting
them a
some
place to
money from
stay.
that,
They
though.
gave them a monthly subsidy. Some places as much as 15,000. Just imagine if they took those kind of funds and invested into each
Their
and every
community.
district to help their voting base, to help their
They would
constituents
never
in the
lose.
first
They would
place.
never lose. Again, they would never lose again.
And Laverne, you're right. When people in need that help, and they call their officials, you know, they're just leaving a message and you never hear anything there. And the programs that supposedly that they say that, oh, we offer these programs, those programs don't even really help those people.
Girl, who even knows about all the programs? Have you ever not ever been somewhere and people tell you, oh, have you heard of this program? And you're like, no, where have I been all my life? There are some programs that would be helpful to people
No,
that
because they
need.
put all these loopholes on them. They're like, okay, well, you benefit from this program if your hair, I'm just get thrown out. If you're,
It's called red tape. They take you
yeah,
through a lot of bullshit. They take you through a lot of red tape. So by the time you get through going through all the red tape, a lot of people be like, fuck it, I don't even want that shit no more.
right.
You know what I'm
Absolutely.
saying?
It's too much trouble. I
That's the
agree.
problem. It's like even with some of the food banks that people go to, if you're not from their zip code, they're not going to feed you. But we don't do that because I don't give a damn what zip code you're from, long as you come and you're respectable. Don't come and talk no shit. Come, be respectable, you know, and we're going to serve you and we're going to take care of you because that's what we do here. And we do it with dignity. But once again, a lot of them play zip code games if you're not from the zip code because of the funds. Sometimes they may be funded to feed a certain area or funded to feed a certain district. Okay. But once again, if they're respectable, we gonna take care of them because that's what we do. So that's the type of people we need in office. People that are really to help their constituents, their voting base, you know, and they can't say they don't have the funding because we have seen the funds that Omar has given to Somalia. Okay.
That's ridiculous. Don't even get me started.
A shitload. So you can't tell us, they can no longer tell us that they don't have the funds available because we saw all the funds that they put up to help these illegal people have a place to stay. When you have Americans,
they have,
stay
yeah,
in
they have nicer homes than Americans that are paying their way. Yeah.
Asbestos infested and every damn thing else.
No, it bothers me. It really does. It gets me so mad because it's like there is no way out if you don't help your community. And I don't care where you live, in what kind of community, even if you're not living in the hood, okay? That poverty reaches every single person, and people try so hard to come up out of it, but they don't. And then you see, you know, the depression that comes out of it when you're going through that, or your family. I mean, like what you said earlier, Laverne, I had my mom and dad to take care of. They had a lot of health problems. And I took on, I lost my parents at a young age, but I remembered when I was just starting my adult life, I had my parents like my kids. I was taking care of them. And it was so hard. But I'm like, I'm going to do it because I love them. And that's what I'm going to do. They took care of me, and now it's my turn to take care of them. But no matter where I looked to for help, I was always told to go here, there, and it was like that red tape again. I got to the point where I was so exhausted. I was like, you know what? Fuck it. I'm not going to play these games. I'm going to take care of them. If I go in debt, if I lose everything, it doesn't matter because I'm not going to let my family suffer because of it. I'm not going to put them out on the street, you know? And in the end, it made me a stronger person, but in the end, it brought me, I never used to think that I'd ever be a political person, but those kind of.
See, it's things like that that push you more and more into politics. The same
where I
thing with
am.
me. I took care of my
here.
mentor, you know,
Right.
before she died, even though she had a family, but still, you know, I grew up basically in the salon with older women. And I was like their daughter because I was the youngest one there. I worked with my mentor for over 20 years. She died of cancer, like I think in 99. And once again, I had to also reach out for resources to see what we could do to get her that help. And a lot of times with these resources that you're reaching out to get, the person basically can't have anything. They basically can't own anything in order for you to get them help.
Right.
They can't own a car, you know.
They want to keep you crippled so that you depend on them.
They have to be low income in order for you to get them any type of help. They can't have money in the bank. I think like maybe it can't be that much in their account. I think less than $2,000 in order for you to get most of the help that you need. And like you said, Rosa, a lot of times when you call in places asking these people for help, they gonna give you the runaround.
Why
They
do they
gonna give
not
you the
want to give you the
runaround.
help? I don't know
You
why.
know, so
No, because they are going by a script. They're just doing their job. They're just doing what the script says. And I remember so many times I would tell the lady, look, I'm talking to you not as the person who works here. I'm talking to you as a woman, a daughter. I know you have a mom and dad. What would you do in my situation? How would you feel if you're telling me this information? And it hits them, but then they still stick to the script, and it's tiring. So so many people get run down by all this red tape. So what do? They ended up taking it on themselves.
And
And then
everybody
that
goes broke.
burden, I mean, I never looked at my parents as a burden. I'm not saying that, but I'm saying that financial burden was then transferred to me. And so now I've got whatever I would have had starting out in life, but then I've also inherited this because there wasn't that help. And like you said, oh, well, if you have a car, if your middle name is Maria, I'm just making up stuff, and you got a pinky finger, you don't qualify.
you will not qualify. And
So
that qualification level is like, you know, and that's the hard thing. That's the hard and difficult part that people go through. That's something that a lot of people endure, just trying to take care of their family. I remember one time this lady came here and she had, I think, two autistic kids and her mother, and she was young. I think this girl was like in her 30s. She was taking care of them. She came here because she needed food. We gave this girl a shopping cart full of food for her family to help her. She left out of the door and she was crying so hard. She was crying so hard because she was so grateful to get that help.
amen.
She was so grateful to get that help. And that's and for when you think about your situation and everything that you had to go through to get your parents the help that they needed, but you see all of these congressional people coming out the woodwork to help these illegals, but at the same time, these same people gave you the runaround, right? So when
That's the slap in
you
the
see all
face.
this money that they're throwing out to them, they're rolling out the red carpet. So then that makes you think, okay, so what could they actually be doing for the people to really help these people to make a difference in their
I
life?
don't, I
But
don't, I,
they refuse to do it. But they want to fly their ass to another fucking country to help these other motherfuckers they're not even a fucking citizen here in the first place.
that's why I say the Democratic Party is dead, because what American citizen could be down with that? That makes no sense at all. We want to use your tax money. You're broke. We know you're broke and struggling, but we're going to use your tax money and we are going to fight tooth and nail for these illegal aliens.
I
And
think
that
Who
makes
I
supports
think that
that?
absolutely no fucking sense.
I think the Democratic Party likes to keep people in need so that they can feel relevant and have
Yeah, well,
something
we're
that
all tired of being in need. We don't want to be
okay.
in need anymore.
But the thing is they pick and choose who's at need. So like you said, they decided it was going to be the illegal immigrants that came in and they were going to get all the help. And then yet you have your own citizens.
Can't get a thing, can't get a thing. Is
I
crying over a bag of groceries. That's how bad off they are.
I see so many vets homeless. It breaks my heart. I bring them food. It's like blankets, whatever they need. They're living in tents and they serve their country. And you have someone who doesn't even care that comes in and is like basically coming to go to Disneyland, like for the free ride to get the whole red carpet. And they're like telling two friends and so on, and they're bringing everyone. And that the fact that they're even promoting it while we have this situation, this
Not only
serious
that, we can't get that
crisis.
money back either. They
No,
make a bad decision and waste trillions of dollars and it's gone. And we have shit to show for it except being more in debt and less for all Americans.
But yeah, at the end of the day, they could come up with additional funds to get gender,
Or
service.
raise their pay. Or raise their pay. They want to do that too.
Oh yes, yes, yes. And here they also trying to vote to extend their time in office.
Are you kidding me right now?
Please.
I
My heart
wish.
rate's going up. My heart rate's going up. But you know what? I used to get pissed and angry. I used to get really, really mad at this. But instead, I'm like, you know what? I'm not going to get angry. I'm going to get pumped. And I'm going to do what I can in my community to make some change. Because it's the only way. Because when you get angry, yeah, you're passionate, but it's tiring. You're like, at any moment, you feel like giving up because you don't think it's going to matter because you're up against
But it matters.
the system.
It matters.
But it matters.
Fighting. You got to keep pushing. And
That's
at the
right.
end of the day, you just can't give up. It
That's
doesn't
right.
matter what your situation is. You can't give up. You got to continue to fight and keep pushing, because when you keep pushing and you keep pushing, only then can you have your breakthrough. But
Right.
if you give up and fall short because you give up because you're frustrated,
You
can't
lost.
do that. You got
You
to
lost.
keep fighting, keep fighting, keep fighting.
And when you
and don't
keep
give up.
fighting, you encourage others to fight too.
That's
That are
exactly.
tired. They're like, all right, you know what? I'm gonna fight with them because I'm not alone. Because you start feeling like, am I alone in this? Am I the only one who's feeling like this? But if you keep fighting, you empower your community. You empower, your neighborhoods to make a change. But not just by having an opinion, but actually putting it into action, like sitting down and looking and say, okay,
Like
what do I
Laverne
need?
did.
Exactly. That's why I keep telling you, girl, I don't care if I live in California, you're all the way in Florida. I'm going to keep encouraging you because that is exactly the kind of people we need. And people need to know how to support people like Laverne. And
I
they
agree.
need to know that they need to get involved instead of just sitting back, scrolling and talking shit. They need to see, okay, you guys are mad. What do you want to do about it? How are we going to change this? Who are the people we need to back? Who are the people that represent what you need in your communities?
And
that,
people also, Rosa, need to understand, when your parents get old and sick, you don't just dump them into a
no,
nursing home. These are people that
no.
loved you, that took care of you, that raised you, that was your biggest cheerleaders, even though sometimes it didn't feel that way.
Oh, it
Love
was
and
hard.
good don't always feel like that. But at the
Mhm.
end of the day, you have to remember those that imparted positive aspects and stuff into your life, and you have to show them that support at the end of the day as well, because you want that good that you're giving out to come back to you.
Right.
You want all that positive energy that you putting into that atmosphere to come back to you. So, when you give it out, then you should receive it back. You should receive it back, and that's what we need to do as people, for the shortfall, the shortcome that we are having with these elected officials. We the people have to make a stand and decide to fight together and do what we feel is
Amen.
right. We have to come together and support each other, because it's like us against them. It's like us
Yeah,
against
it
them.
is class warfare. It's definitely class warfare. That's exactly what it is.
And have dialogue with people that it may not agree with you, but through a good, honest dialogue with respect, can we actually make some change? That's why, I'm always trying when I'm here in California, talking to people, I'm like, okay, well, why do you feel like that? I'm still as long as they're not disrespecting me, let's have a conversation, because it seems like if these are the things that you want to see change, these people that you're backing do not represent that.
They know that. People know that. We know who's in our community, what's going on in our community, and how things never change. But because things never change, people don't go vote. We have a special election coming up here where I live soon for state representative. I didn't even know about it. I
Well,
just found out about it, and it's like June 10th. I said they don't
And
want
when
you
are
to
they
know. They
voting?
don't want you to know.
When are they voting? Did you
June
say
10th, I
June 10th?
believe. I think.
So that's like in two and a half weeks. About 2.5. What, 3 weeks? Maybe
I'm
3
not
weeks.
sure. June 10th.
Yeah,
What's today? Is
about
the
3 weeks.
22nd? Yeah, but I did not even know about it. I'm like, well, what happened? Why are we having a special election? Did somebody die? What's going on? I don't know. But we are having a special election. And since it's for the state, I'm not sure. I guess it's whoever represents my district, but I don't even know who it is, to be honest with you. I don't know.
See, that's why we need more people passing on that information, educating
Absolutely.
everyone
There
on
needs to
what's
be a
going
website
on,
for
the
that.
dates, who are the candidates, what they stand
What
for.
is their position? They don't even tell you here. I don't know about there, Laverne, but when they have local elections here, they put their signs all up, but none of them say if they're a Democrat or a Republican. You know, and I'm like, look, there is 47 people running for different little local offices here. I don't even know which one of you is a conservative or, you know, it takes it takes a lot of effort for you to even know who's running for what in your community. Somebody needs to build an app where they have to go on there, upload their position, what they stand for, where you can look and see, because I want to know. I don't want to just cast my vote and not know. And here where I am in the panhandle, and if it doesn't say Republican or Democrat on the sign, you don't know when you're walking in there. You don't
Well,
know.
see, here you have it, Pamela. We have an action item coming out of this podcast today. That kind of idea is exactly what people need so that they can get in there, look and see, okay, this is what I stand for, this candidate. Okay, I have the options of these two people. Get in there, go vote, and handle their business.
Sometimes it's 4 or 5 people. You know what I
Right.
mean? There's no
But
way
it's
you can know
important.
that without an app. You can't
Right.
know.
It's important for people to have that information available to them so that it makes it easier, because we all know we get caught up in the day-to-day routine. Life is hard. And the last thing we're thinking about is, oh shit, I gotta go vote.
Go vote. And who's
But it's
running for it?
important
And who
because
in the hell is running?
if you think about it, when you think of a quarterback in a team, right? He can't win without a team. The quarterback, in order to push some agenda forward or some plan, he needs his team. So if we're not voting, we're not backing that.
Oh, I vote, girl, but I'm just telling you, I many a time have walked. I'd try not to ever miss a vote, but sometimes I'm like, who in the hell's even are these people? I don't
Right.
even know.
It's like,
Especially for the stuff that doesn't interest me anymore, like for school board and stuff. I don't know. My
right. It's
kids
like
don't go
Tom,
to
Dick, or
school.
Harry. Who am I going to vote for?
My
I don't even know
baby's
who
30 years old. I don't know.
Right.
Yeah. All right, ladies, I got to go. It's been wonderful. Thank you
Hey,
so much for inviting
yeah,
It
me.
was
thank
nice
you.
meeting
Thank
you,
you for
Pamela.
coming
Nice to
on.
meet you
I'm gonna
too.
stay
I will
on
see y'all. I'm sorry.
Oh, thank you so much, Tia, for coming on.
Thank you, Laverne. I will see y'all soon. I'll see y'all next.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
Bye-bye.
G, can you play one more clip? But not that one that you just had on about Shannon Sharp. That's old news. What about that little Monica girl? Didn't we send you a
Oh,
clip about her?
we need to see her.
Yeah, we want to see that little fat heifer.
That little heifer. That's what I was going to say.
You know, these people are ridiculous. Was this lady actually out there trying to fight ICE?
Yes, girl. Yes. Is that the video you're going to show?
Yes, and he could find the clip. Is that Mark G?
And what was done? Crickets. We don't know. She's crazy. Out of her mind.
What's her name? La Monica?
Yep. La Monica.
La Monica.
Demonica.
I cannot believe this lady was there trying to fight fucking ICE.
It's crazy. She's insane. She's insane.
And then they lock her up? Or did they not lock her up?
If they locked her up, it's new to me. Let me check. Let's see.
So, G, do you have the clip? G, do you have a clip? Oh, there she is.
This will fight back. Fight back. Fight back. And as I close out, because I know we've been out here for a long time, and God damn it, shut down the city. anytime $50 million into a campaign, and they've been given full access to the Department of Treasury of the United States of America. We are at war.
Girl.
We will not take this. We will fight back. Fight back.
She's an insurrectionist. That lady is crazy.
Absolutely. You know, it never ceased to amaze me. I'm going to say this again. How hard these people fight for these illegal, and they don't give a fuck about their motherfucking districts. And then she want to come out there and start cursing, using all type of fucking profanity, but you don't give a shit about your district, but you want to go fight hard as fuck for these damn illegals, and you don't even know who in the fuck they are. They haven't been vetted. How do we know who these people are? It's different when people been vetted, you know, and that's all Trump is asking. Let's vet these people. Let's get them ID. Why they don't need an ID, but we need a damn ID to do? Why is this fucking system? Everything is different from them. Okay? They don't need shit, but we gotta qualify for everything while they just handing them everything on a fucking silver platter.
Look at that. I touch whoever I want,
motherfucker. Okay.
This is what I read, but I'm going to fact check it. It says LaMonica appears before judge on federal charges, ordered to surrender firearms, cannot leave U.S. and faces 8 years in prison. But I need to confirm that. But that's
we'll have to fact check that.
Yep.
And see what's going on. But it's just so ridiculous, the energy they put into everything for these people, and nothing for their own damn district. And half of these people that are coming forward now, if it wasn't for these damn illegals, we wouldn't even know these motherfuckers was in Congress in the first place.
Exactly. No, and where is she? Where is she fighting for her people, for her community that are starving, that are homeless, that need help? Where is she for them?
They don't give a fuck about that.
They don't give a fuck.
They have zero fucks to give about that.
She's willing to fight for them.
About is damn illegals and the people that want a sex change, and the kids, to start the kids on the puberty blockers. That's there in elementary school, and to decide what sex the kids are going to be in elementary school.
And what good does that do to us? What good does that do to us? Nothing. It's not helping what we need, what the American people need, the American families that are suffering. Does nothing for us. That does not promote any. That's just all about either creating some crazy thing to support and put funds to, or backing something that we have no business backing if we can't even help the people in our own communities, in our own country. It's wrong. It's like, it irritates me so much. It's like when I saw her, I was like, oh my God, that lady gets on my nerves so bad.
Where was they at when California was on fire? Where was they at when that storm hit Western North Carolina? Where was they at with all these other disasters when the fire was burning in Hawaii?
Where the
fuck was they at? Where the fuck was they at?
Girl, Oprah was looking to buy property there. Instead of helping, she was looking to buy. Okay.
But her shit didn't catch on fire.
That's right. It's crazy.
But everybody else shit was burning up except for those that were owned by celebrities or other people. Their properties did not burn up to the ground. So where are they at when the American people need them? Where in the hell are they at?
It's like we're living in some backwards world. I don't know if you've seen the show Black Mirror, but it's like some weird, like, I don't know what's like, how can this even be reality? How could they even think that that's remotely okay to do when they're not helping our own people? I don't get it. It drives me.
How do they run and get reelected? That's the damn question. How does Gavin Newsom run for the governor seat and get reelected when California looks like a whole shithole? How?
It's because of the people that are backing, like you said. I pray to God, girl, I am working so hard. I pray to God that I don't even want to hear his name, but I know I have to because it needs to happen. But I pray to God that he doesn't even come remotely close to being governor of California again, because he has literally buried us. He has buried us. He does not care. And yet he tries to throw blame on other people. It's been under his watch. It's been under his watch. So that's why I try and reach out to all the people in San Diego, in Los Angeles, and all the communities that I get and move around to, that they need to do, get involved. Don't let people like this stay in office, because they are not changing anything. If anything, they're adding to the problems and giving us the big fuck you. Basically, we don't care about you. So it's crazy here. It's crazy.
So, I'm gonna say this. People should think about who they should, if we're gonna vet people that's coming into this country, we should also be vetting people that are running for office. We need to know what is their agenda. Why are they running for office? Do they even give a damn about this country in the first place? Look at Omar. Her only concern is Somalia, and she has all the Somalians in her district.
She's anti-American, anti-family, anti so many things. She's like pro-hate. She just likes to hate. She hates Americans. She doesn't care about us at all. Let her go run in Somalia, right? Not here. Get out. Get out of here.
Do go take her little bald-headed ass on to Somalia.
That's right.
Run for office over there, because we know you don't give a fuck about this country. They just milking this country dry and destroying it. So those are people that we definitely do not need representing us.
No, we've come too far to hand it over to people like that. We've come too far as a people to just let someone like that girl with no experience of life whatsoever just come in and splur her narrative all the time of hate, and just, she could care less. We need to vet these people. And we need to not only vet them, but if we vote for them, we need to hold them accountable when we don't see that there's action.
And that's the part that we are not doing. We're not holding them accountable. When we see some dumb shit taking place, are we even fighting against it? Like here, we have a commissioner that came up with the fact that people should not be feeding stray animals, right? But if people don't feed the fucking stray animals, do she think the fucking animals gonna feed their damn self? They're animals. So what is it that you want them to do? It's not like they can walk to the grocery store and a cat can walk to the grocery store and buy him some goddamn cat chow. You know what I'm
go through the drive-through.
So, come up with some shit that makes some sense. Stop sitting down, wasting people fucking taxpayer dollars coming up with dumb shit that don't make no goddamn sense.
Right. But see, that's the thing. They don't make sense because I don't even think they care to make sense. They don't care. They're all in to line their pockets and back their agenda. And that's it. We are not even included in any of it whatsoever. That's why we have to hold them accountable and reach out to our friends and family and let them know, like, did you know about this? Make sure you get involved. Don't sit on the sidelines and just think, by your thoughts, you're going to make some positive change, because you're not. We're going to keep struggling if you don't take action. Something needs to happen.
So we want to thank you, everybody, for your comments and everything. And we see you in the inbox. Hello to everybody that's joining us on the Hood Conservative Podcast. I see you out there, Jerome. You could have got on today. That wouldn't have been a problem. And everybody else, we see you all right there and we see your comments in the inbox, you know, but we got to stand up and push back. We got to push back, people. We cannot be afraid, cannot be living your life in fear, and we got to fight back. G, is there one more clip before I close for today? Hello.
Let's see. What's the last clip?
I did have one with North up there, and what the fuck that is? Oh, I had a clip with North, and she was talking about, and I thought it was very interesting because she was talking about God and how she prayed and believed in God, and I think that's a great thing. You know, I
Amen.
think that's a great thing.
Let me tell you, if it wasn't for God, I don't know where I would be right now. And I mean that wholeheartedly.
Same here. You know, I can say that because, you know, God totally changed my life. And when he changed my life, I promised, I made a vow that I would help people. And that's what I do. And that's why I do it. That's why I do it. You know, people used to ask me all the time, well, why would you do that? You know, because like I always say, when I started out of my own pockets for many years. And I'm talking about buying food, and I wasn't like rich or anything, but I always, you know, enjoy helping people because I felt like somebody had to do it.
That's
Somebody
right.
need to help these people. Now, when you helping people and you feeding people, whatever you're doing, that's not easy. It's not an easy job. A lot of times they are very hostile. They're very
They
angry.
reject you, right?
Yep, come from going through that red tape. From
Mm-hmm.
going through that red tape, and you know, you going here, you going there, you're not getting any help. It's like you're going in circles. So a lot of times they're very angry and hostile, but I understand that. So, you know, we have patience, but we got a lot of patience, but don't be trying to push it. Don't be trying to push it, but we do it. We do have a lot. We do have a lot. And you know, we make it do what it do. We make it do what it do. And G, are there any clips? I don't even know if he's there. Mark, are there any clips? Hearing none, seeing none.
You went through the drive-through, girl.
Hearing none, seeing none. But at the end of the day, it is what it is, you know. It is what it is. And let me see what else we got going on. Of course, we got that P. Diddy trial. That was kind of interesting. They had some testimony that came in with that. That was quite interesting. And I think they showed some something about Prince and set
Yeah,
a tape.
the tape.
It's
It's
getting
crazy.
very.
Isn't it crazy? Like people think that, they're watching this and they think it's just about Diddy. But this goes on like Clive Davis. I mean, this is just like this big tentacle craziness of like scandal, sex cult. Like it's insane. Like, and I don't even think we're going to see it all even in the trial. There's no way possible we could see it all because there's so much involved that there wouldn't be enough time or days to run a trial to get it all out.
I heard. I don't know if it was in the testimony or if I saw it somewhere, and they were saying like, no, I saw a clip of Ice Cube and he was talking. And he was talking about, I think it was him talking, or it could have been somebody else. And they was talking about with those lyrics in the rap lyrics, and they would call in psychiatrists to talk about the effects of the music on people that's listening to that type of stuff.
Crazy.
Okay, you could play that.
Let's see.
So if you're the sketch artist and you're actually sitting closer to Diddy in the public gallery than anybody, what are you seeing on his face? What are his expressions?
Well, they change from time to time. Depends upon who the witness is and what the testimony is. When it's testimony that he does not like, he will shake his head no. He will look very intently. He will be very serious. And then when the evidence, the testimony is a little bit more positive to him, he will, even today during the break, in the midst of his the cross-examination of Dawn Richard, he even smiled when he was talking to his attorneys, because we saw this was his attorney, Nicole Westmoreland. She is cross-examining Dawn Richard, and he is very focused on Westmoreland, very focused. And so one thing I want to say overall with Sean Combs, he's an executive. He's handing them notes. He's very attentive. And so he's not ignoring anything, even the most difficult testimony that's been that we've all experienced in the courtroom. He is very focused. And so that's the one thing I would say about him. He's not shied away from anything. He's not shying. He's not putting his hand in his head. I have not yet seen.
But girl, he looks old as hell. He looks like stress has gotten the best of him. His hair is turning whiter and whiter every single day. You can't tell me that that's not caused by some of the shit that he's hearing.
Oh man, this trial is crazy. You know, the things that are coming out is really crazy. And like I said, that tape that it was playing from Prince, oh my God. You know, but when you think about the music and the rap music, you know, especially with that gangster rap and those lyrics from that gangster rap and the effects that they had on the young community,
youth.
you know, on it's crazy.
It
It's
is
really
crazy. Have you seen any of the Jaguar Wright?
Of course.
Girl, I'm hooked on her. I've been listening to her talking. I mean, she says some stuff. She's speaking her truth, okay? Even if no one likes it. And I commend her because it takes courage to be a voice like that in a sea
It
full.
takes a lot of courage because you know you
She's
put your life
badass.
on the line because she's
Right?
letting it rip. And you know she was there because she was a background singer and she also did her own music. So we know that she was involved and she was at the table, you know, in that business. So I can't wait till it's over with. I cannot wait till it's over with, and I can't wait to see what the outcome is with the trial.
Right. But I know that Diddy is who he is and he's done what he's done. I mean, but I have to point out that kind of shit has been going on way before Diddy. Diddy's just
way
one
before
player,
Diddy.
one villain.
Diddy.
He's just
my
one villain
God.
that was once upon a time a child and was a victim to this crazy world and became perverted and became this evil, conniving person. But you know, when I think of like even his mom, girl, or Clive Davis, and how long this kind of stuff has been going on, or you look at the Melendez brothers, how long this stuff has been going on. It's a perverse world.
And that's another trial. You know,
right?
I think they're gonna stand a chance of being paroled, but whether they're actually gonna get that parole, then that's another story.
Right. I don't know.
I don't know neither, but it remains to be seen. And hopefully things will change. You know, I'm hoping things will change for the better. So anyway,
keep praying. Keep
we're
praying.
gonna keep praying for this country, and we got to keep praying for our president. We got to keep this man in prayer because he's really fighting. You know, we saw what happened the other night at 1:00 in the morning when they had that budget hearing meeting. And that was quite interesting in itself.
Right.
So I don't know who just sent me a message saying, what time are you on YouTube? I'm going to be listening. I don't know. I don't know what time I'm on YouTube, but I know I am on Rumble right now, live. We're live on Rumble.
Hey,
And also,
Rumble.
if you're hi Rumble, and also if you're listening, follow me on Rumble and follow me on YouTube. Follow me on Rumble, follow me on YouTube.
I gotta follow you on YouTube, girl. I didn't know you were on YouTube.
Yeah, Hood Republican. I'm on YouTube.
I'm gonna
So
follow you right now.
Miss Amarosa and the other and Travian and Miss Teal. Follow everybody that's on the show for the latest news. And thank you so much. There's her page, y'all. Y'all follow Amarosa. She's a patriot and she's a fighter.
And whatever, if there's one message I can say to everyone out just for today, is that whatever we're going through, whatever individually we're going through, just know that you got to keep fighting, and we fight with you. We want to make a change. And the first way to make a change is to take action and start being the change that you want to see. And that's why I support Laverne and her Hood Conservative and all the hoodies. And it's important for us to keep building our tribe and keep helping our communities and keep helping our cause, because it's the only way. No matter what we've got going on, just know that we're sticking together and we're fighting through it.
Absolutely true. Also, I want to thank my husband for all of his support. Thank you, Mr. Spicer.
Mr. Spicer's the bomb.
If you're watching, you know how much I appreciate you, and I always tell you that I appreciate you because that's very important. But I thank you for everything that you do for the organization and everything that you do for everybody else. So I do thank you for all of your support. And also Felicia, who works here, and
I got to see her the other day. She came on camera.
Yeah, she did, and her sister passed the other week, and they're having the funeral this weekend. So Felicia, we love you.
Keeping you in our prayers.
Our condolences. And I just want to tell you that, that we do appreciate you for everything that you do, making sure that we go to the senior buildings and take care of the seniors as well. And if you're here and you're a senior in the building, you need some help, please inbox me on Twitter. Please inbox me on Twitter. You could call the office and ask for help. I know y'all know how to get in contact, so that's no problem. Just holler at us. We are here.
And Laverne is not going to red tape you.
No, I'm not. I'm not going to red tape you.
No way.
I'm not going to red tape you, because if you come and you for real and you need help and you come and you sincere, then we're going to help you. But just don't come with no shitty ass attitude now. I'm telling you, I got zero tolerance for that. So if you come and you being respectful, then you're going to get the help you want. Now, if you come and you being disrespectful, you may get just what you're looking for too. Because, we don't tolerate that. We do not tolerate. We got zero tolerance.
There's no time for that shit. We got stuff to do. We got real
stuff. We got
stuff.
a lot of work to do. We got a lot of work to do. We got a lot. So also, if you would like to donate, feel free to donate to the program. If you would like to go to Amazon or whatever and order some food and send it here, you can do that also. And we will give it out. If you would like to go buy gift cards and mail the gift cards here, we will give them to the seniors and make sure that they get, whatever. Because somebody did send a $10 gift card, and I gave it to one of the seniors outside.
Because
so
every little bit helps.
Card.
And anything that can help someone, even if it's a small little gift card. It's going to make someone smile that day and not feel forgotten.
Of course, and that's what it's all about, because a lot of these people basically gave their life to help others, and now that they're older and in need, where's the help for them? Where's their help? Who can they call on to help them? So at the end of the day, that's why we are here, to make a difference. And we are doing just that. We are doing just that. So if you would like to help once again, there are so many ways that you can do it. And I know that Gia put up the information at the end of the show. So I'm getting ready to close for today. And thank you so much, Amarosa, for finally coming on.
It's been a long time, girl, but I had to get back. And thank you for everything that you do. Like every single day, we appreciate you. We love you. There's the QR code.
Yeah, there's the QR code if you would like to donate to the organization, because every little bit helps. Every little bit helps. And thank you so much, everybody, for joining us today. Also, remember, please follow me on Rumble and YouTube, Hood Conservative. Hood Conservative. And once again, that's the QR code. So I will see you guys next week, Thursday, right back here on the Hood Conservative Podcast. Thank you so much.
Hi, I'm Laverne Spicer, and I'm asking for your support today. Thousands of Americans struggle to get food, and they wonder where their next meal is going to come from. But I'm here, been working with them for over 25 years to provide food to people that need it the most, right here at our community food bank. So today, I'm asking you for your support. Please provide a contribution to help make a real difference in our community and to help us feed people. And you can do it right here. Donate today on Cash App, and you will see the link above.